your job is probably already gone. You just haven't been locked out of the building yet. By 2026, a new force called OpenClaw is set to vaporize 80% of the roles we consider careers. This isn't a chatbot that writes poems. It is a digital worker that executes your entire to-do list while you're still making coffee. Which part of your daily job do you think a machine could never ever replicate? Type it in the comments, and let's see if OpenClaw has already mastered it. We have spent the last few years playing with AI that talks back to us like a polite, slightly confused intern. You ask ChatGPT for a meal plan, and it gives you a list of ingredients. That is generative AI, and frankly, it is already becoming old news. OpenClaw is what comes next, agentic AI. This is the guy who doesn't just give you a grocery list. He goes to the store, buys the food, cooks the meal, sets the table, and then writes a glowing review of his own service on Yelp. It is the shift from talking to doing. The core of this demolition is something called recursive task refinement. In plain English, that means the AI is its own supervisor. When you give OpenClaw a goal, like start a competitive e-commerce brand for sustainable sneakers, it doesn't just give you a bulleted list of advice. It starts working. It crawls the web to see what competitors are doing. It registers a domain name. It uses its internal design engine to create a logo. It writes a legal brief for trademarking. It contacts manufacturers on Alibaba via automated email, negotiates wholesale pricing, and then hooks into a Shopify API to build the store. It is the CEO, the marketing department, the web developer, and the supply chain manager all rolled into one script. Why is 2026 the year this all hits the fan? Because we are currently in the middle of a massive hardware and software convergence. By 2026, 5G will be the global baseline, meaning these AI brains can talk to your computer with zero lag. We are seeing models with sub-1 second latency in reasoning. When OpenClaw looks at your screen, it doesn't scan it like an old-school OCR program. It understands the context of every button, every spreadsheet cell, and every customer email instantly. Let's look at the demolition zones. If your job involves a screen, a keyboard, and sitting in a swivel chair, you might want to start looking at outdoor hobbies or a new career in masonry. First, we have the white-collar wipeout. This is the administrative and operations sector. For decades, customer support was the ultimate entry-level safety net. Then came the basic chatbots that everyone hated because they couldn't understand a simple human emotion. OpenClaw has emotional memory. It remembers that you were frustrated during your last call. It can initiate a screen share session, identify a bug in your software, write a patch for that bug in real time, and deploy it to your device without a human ever being involved. It doesn't need a supervisor to authorize a refund. It doesn't need a lunch break. It just solves the problem and moves to the next of the 10,000 people in the queue. Data entry and analysis are also essentially dead. Manual spreadsheet management is a relic of the past. OpenClaw can process 10,000 rows of messy, disorganized data and turn it into a high-production video presentation for the board of directors in the time it takes you to open Excel. And middle management, if your job is checking in on people to make sure they are doing their jobs, you are the most replaceable person in the building. OpenClaw manages other AI agents. It assigns them tasks, reviews their output, and fires the ones that aren't performing. It is a cold, calculated, and terrifyingly efficient digital boss. Then we hit the creative and technical sectors. For years, the experts said AI could never be truly creative. Well, tell that to the graphic designers who are seeing their entire industry turn into a commodity. Why hire a boutique agency to spend 3 weeks on a brand campaign when OpenClaw can generate 1,000 unique, high-fidelity ads in 60 seconds? It can tailor every single ad to the specific person looking at their phone in real time, using their browsing history to tweak the colors, the fonts, and the message. Junior software developers are the next to go. We used to need code monkeys to write the boilerplate and the basic scripts. Now, OpenClaw writes the code, debugs it, tests it for security vulnerabilities, and deploys it to the cloud. The junior dev role is being deleted. Only the architects will remain, the people who know how to tell the AI what the big picture looks like. If you're a college student graduating in 2026 with a degree in basic computer science, you are competing against a script that costs 1 penny an hour and never gets tired of writing Python. Even the prestige jobs aren't safe. Look at the legal and finance sectors. Paralegals used to spend their entire careers doing discovery, sifting through mountains of documents to find one specific piece of evidence. OpenClaw Claw does that in a heartbeat with 99.9% accuracy. It doesn't get bored. It doesn't miss a footnote. Accounting is the same story. Tax laws are just a massive set of complex rules. AI is significantly better at following rules than humans are. Real-time auditing is coming, where every penny spent by a corporation is tracked and verified by an AI in seconds. No more human accountants, no more oops moments, and no more jobs for the average numbers. Cruncher. Why 2026? It's the convergence factor. The cost of intelligence is collapsing. Running an OpenClaw agent is projected to cost about 1 cent per hour. Compare that to a human worker who needs $15 to $50 an hour. Health insurance, a desk, a laptop, and a sense of purpose. Fortune 500 companies are finishing their pilot programs as we speak. The mass deployment contracts are already signed for the 2025 to 2026 fiscal year. This isn't a maybe. This is a scheduled update. This leads us to the Great Decoupling. For the first time in human history, we are going to see a country's GDP skyrocket while employment plummets. In the past, when we got better tools, we needed more people to run them. This time, the tool is the person. It is the worker. If you think your local government is going to save you with some kind of AI tax, you haven't been paying attention to how fast these companies move. By the time a politician figures out how to spell autonomous agent, the jobs will have been gone for 18 months. Now, I know what the optimists say. They love to bring up the Industrial Revolution. They say, oh, the weavers thought the looms would kill their jobs. But look, we have more jobs than ever. That's a cute story, but it's wrong. The loom replaced the weaver's hands. OpenClaw replaces the weaver's brain. When you automate physical labor, humans move to mental labor. When you automate mental labor, where exactly are humans supposed to go? Unless we're all going to become professional sunset watchers, the math just doesn't add up. 80% claim isn't just a scary number I pulled out of a hat for clicks. It's based on the reality of intermediate knowledge work. If your job consists of taking information from one place, processing it according to a set of rules, and putting it in another place, you are finished. That covers almost every office job in existence. Administrative assistants, marketing coordinators, logistics planners, insurance adjusters. These aren't just at risk. They are being actively targeted by the OpenClaw architecture because they are high friction and high cost. Think about the way an office functions today. You have a meeting to decide to have another meeting. You send emails back and forth to schedule a call. You wait for a human to approve a purchase order. OpenClaw removes the waiting. It operates at the speed of light. If an OpenClaw agent needs an approval, it asks another OpenClaw agent, gets a response in milliseconds, and the project moves forward. A company running on this tech will move 1,000 times faster than a company running on humans. In a competitive market, the human-led company simply goes bankrupt. It's not a choice. It's survival of the fastest. The transition won't be smooth. We are going to see massive social upheaval as people realize their degrees are essentially expensive pieces of wall art. Governments will scramble to talk about universal basic income, but by the time they pass a bill, the AI will have already optimized the tax code so much that there might not be any wealth left to redistribute. You have to look at your current skill set through the lens of a machine. If a machine can do it for a penny, why would anyone pay you? That is the question of the decade. The answer usually isn't because I'm a nice person. The answer has to be because I provide the vision that the machine can't generate on its own. OpenClaw is the final warning shot. It's not a tool for your job. It's a replacement for your job. The countdown to 2026 has already started. The question is, are you going to be the one giving the orders or the one wondering why your login password doesn't work anymore? Let's talk about the last mile of human labor. There will be a brief period where humans are used as quality control for the AI. You'll be the person who checks the AI's work. But how long does that last? 6 months? A year? Once the AI sees what you're correcting, it learns. It doesn't make the same mistake twice. Eventually, the human in the loop becomes the bottleneck. You're the reason the process is slow. And in 2026, being slow is the same as being dead. The human premium will exist, but it's going to be a luxury market. High-end therapy, bespoke craftsmanship, elite coaching. These will still be human-dominated because rich people like to pay for the human touch. But for the other 99% of the world, we'll be interacting with OpenClaw-style agents for everything. Your doctor will be an AI. Your lawyer will be an AI. Your teacher will be an AI. And honestly, they'll probably be better at it than the humans they replaced. They'll have access to every medical journal ever written, every legal precedent ever set, and every teaching method ever proven. We are entering the era of the sovereign individual. If you have the skills to direct an AI workforce, you don't need a company. You are the company. You can run a global enterprise from a laptop in a coffee shop, but that requires a level of initiative that most people haven't been trained for. We've been trained to be employees, to show up, do what we're told, and collect a check. OpenClaw deletes the told what to do part of that equation. If you can't tell the machine what to do, you have no value in the 2026 economy. The psychological impact of this is going to be massive. We define ourselves by our work. What do you do is the first question we ask at parties. When the answer for 80% of people is nothing, the AI does it, we're going to have a global identity crisis. We'll have all the productivity in the world and no sense of purpose. But hey, at least your sustainable sneaker brand will be doing great, right? If you're sitting there thinking, not my job, I'm too specialized, think again. Specialization is actually easier for AI to handle. The more specific the rules, the better the AI performs. It's the generalists who might survive a little longer, but even they are being squeezed. OpenClaw doesn't just specialize in one thing. It can switch from being a world-class coder to a world-class tax attorney in the time it takes to load a new module. It's the ultimate polymath. The 2000s gave us the learn to code era. In 2026, that advice is useless because the computer codes itself. The new advice is learn to direct. Because if you are just a cog in a process, OpenClaw is about to replace that cog with a version that is cheaper, faster, and much more obedient. The reality of 2026 is that the traditional career path is a ghost. We've seen this before in smaller doses. Remember the travel agent? Gone. Remember the switchboard operator? Gone. But those were niche industries. OpenClaw targets the knowledge worker, which is the backbone of the entire global economy. When the backbone goes, the whole structure changes. We are looking at a world where the barrier to entry for starting a billion-dollar company is basically zero. You don't need 1,000 employees. You need one laptop and a very clear set of instructions for your OpenClaw agents. This is both the most terrifying and the most exciting time to be alive. But if you're still waiting for your boss to tell you what to do, you've already lost the game. The countdown is ticking. Every time you see an AI update, that's another brick in the wall that's closing you in. OpenClaw isn't coming to help you. It's coming to do your job better than you ever could. You can either be the one holding the leash or the one being left behind in the dust of the great decoupling. The choice is yours, but you'd better make it fast. 2026 is a lot closer than it looks on the calendar. The world of work is changing faster than your resume can keep up. If you want to stay ahead of the machines instead of being replaced by them, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. I'll keep tracking the tech so you don't end up surprised when the office lights go out for good. See you in the next one.